welcome to Acquired Taste Podcast. We are back. It's your boy Dirty D.
It's your boy Tech Daddy.
Zoinks.
Oh, the Scooby-Doo.
Yep.
The Scoober.
Okay.
the Scoober-Doo.
If you would have did it in the Scooby-Doo voice, then I would have been like...
Scooby-Doo doesn't say Zoinks, though.
The Shaggy.
Yeah.
But he's... Well, yeah, you're right.
Yes.
But in the Shaggy voice,
But if you did
guess,
I see what you're saying.
I can't do that. I mean, I can do a rut-row. Mm-hmm. I can do that way easier than I can do a Shaggy Zoinks.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, you're the drug use you've had in life isn't high enough for that.
No.
Because
One would say negligible.
Honestly, yeah. Like you would have had to do at least a couple 2 tree drugs to pull that one off, and you just ain't got it in you. You just ain't got it in you. That's fine. Anyway,
I mean, DJ tried to drug me.
Oh God, I would have had a dead body in my house.
Oh, you had chamoy with tahine.
I had
and you cried for 20 minutes.
I had whatever was at the bottom of a fucking aquarium. Is what I had. It tastes like the bedding you put a turtle on.
Jeez. Well, you also said you don't like fake peach either, so
no, I do not. I do not.
There's that.
You should just be happy I fucking tried on your recommendation.
I'm proud of you, though.
You son of a bitch.
You went right for it.
Well, his trust has now been betrayed.
Yeah. I danged it in front of him. I was like, look at it.
Never again.
Jeez. Anyways, I should probably do the intro. So, welcome to Acquired Taste Podcast. We are a history-based podcast. We do a mystery. We do some music sometimes, which we're going to do soon, actually. We've discussed that. So, if you're new to the podcast, we appreciate you giving us a listen. We are going to do a little bit of banter at the beginning of the episode, and then we're going to dive into the topic. So, stick around. We'll get there. We promise. But we like to warm up a little bit, too. It just helps us out, and we're kind of funny. So, you'll be fine. If you are a returning listener, thank you for giving us another listen. We appreciate you sticking with us through all these years. I hope you're having a good day. It's hot out. Make sure you stay hydrated. I got my water and I got some tea. So, make sure you're getting your beverages in today. It's going to be hotter tomorrow. So, stick with it. It'll be fine. Anyways, other than that, hope you're having a great day. We appreciate the help. And of course, you get the 4 kisses. There we go. Also, if you are a returning listener and you are not subscribed to us, please give us a like and subscribe. If you're a new listener and you like us, subscribe to us, follow us on social medias. And we have a YouTube channel and we have a website. So requiredtastepodcast.com. You can get us there too. So just a heads up. So, the merch store is on there now too. So check out our merch. It'll ship right to your house. It's pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm. We're fully loaded now.
Almost. There's actually one more page I want to add to the website. I just have to get to it.
Yeah.
But I want to add like a photo gallery and stuff like that. And we're doing a photo shoot soon too.
Nice.
So I want to add that to it as well.
Nice.
On top of that, we do also have a Patreon. We have not talked about it in a while. We haven't done an episode in a while. That's our bad. But Aftertaste. If you want to follow us on Patreon, we have 7 or 8 episodes on there, I think?
Yeah, somewhere around.
Something like that. So they get an extra content. Actually, that is more of just us being us. And also a team's a bit more raunchy, I will say.
Yeah, it's all banter, no history.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's our histories.
Yeah,
we now have 2 listeners from my Tinder today.
Sensational.
I'm just sledding it up over here.
Well, dude, I mean, before you, it was Deej, so I mean, it's fine. I mean, DJ was out there sledding himself right out for our podcast, but now he's in a committed relationship.
Yeah,
so
TikTok was wild. You could just show a little shoulder,
You need to start making more of that. By the way, you haven't done
Yeah, dude, it's just like I feel so like fake doing it. It's so weird. Like I don't know. It's like. I'm going to be 36 soon, and it's like every time I try to do it, I'm just like, you look stupid, you idiot. Look at you.
Yeah, but then every woman on TikTok's like, you don't look stupid.
Well, we'll see what happens.
So there's that.
To be continued.
We've been trying to grow our social media following. Of course, we're trying to get our listenership up, which actually has been up by a lot. So thank you for everybody that's been listening to us. For a show with the support, like I said before, it's been great. So it's been a lot. Like we're getting a lot more hits than we were the prior month. So we appreciate it. We have for sure noticed. Leave us a comment too. We haven't gotten a comment in a while, so we need. We want to hear from you.
I was really surprised that there's no comment on the Battle of Hastings one.
I
thought somebody would have something to say about the last 20 minutes of that episode.
Someone would have thoughts, if you will.
John, if you're listening, fuck you.
I actually don't see any comments about that, oddly enough. Yeah, no, nothing. I'm sorry.
That's I can't win them all.
Well, no, and fucking John, dude. If you're listening to this episode, not even John, just in general, if you see a hornet, wasp, or anything that will sting your friends and they don't see it, make sure you mention it to them.
Yeah,
just be a friend. Be a pal.
Be a pal. Be a friend. See something, say something.
Literally.
Don't let your friend have their own personal 9/11 while being recorded.
Personal 9/11. That's deep. That is one hell of a comparison. I don't know if I could back you on that one, man. Like, that's a bit much for me. So, anyways, we usually start off with a like some kind of question, some kind of icebreaker. Deej, what you got for us today, man?
I do, Ben. You paper white vanilla taste bud having motherfucker.
DJ, I'm entirely too hot up here to deal with your antics. Get to the fucking point.
Okay, so what's your take on meatloaf?
Meatloaf? I love meatloaf.
I knew you knew it. We fucking knew he loved meatloaf.
What? What's wrong with meatloaf? You're close to a window right now. I'm not. What's wrong with meatloaf?
Oh my God, we called it. I bet you eat that shit with ketchup too, don't you?
No. No.
Oh, we did call this though.
I don't really fuck with ketchup outside of fries.
Okay, that's
good.
Okay,
that's good answer. Good answer. But
yeah, we were at me and Aaron and I went to see Block Party.
Yeah, that was super dope.
For what was that, 20-year anniversary?
20-year anniversary of Silent Alarm.
Of Silent Alarm, which was awesome. That was an amazing show at the Salt Shed, the outdoor venue. If you guys are from Chicago, you ever been to the Salt Shed, I highly recommend it. It's a great venue, indoors and out, food, great service, all that stuff. But we went to Ramen San right afterwards. It's like in the West Loop. Is that the West Loop, or is that like that's like River North, isn't it?
It's closer to River North. It's in Fulton Market.
Okay, yeah, Fulton Market. That's what it is. A bunch of restaurants there, but Ramen San is like fucking Wu-Tang music and good ramen. It's an awesome place to get food.
It is magical, and it's a whiskey bar for those that are drinkers.
Yes, it is a whiskey bar. Yeah, we went there and we were talking. How did meatloaf get brought up? I don't even remember how.
I don't remember how that got. Well, I think we were talking about. So we were with Charlie, and he was talking about going to Grand Rapids with his girlfriend. And there was a restaurant that we went to up there. I forgot what it was called now. I know where it is. Like a picture. It's a great place. Like one of my favorite restaurants up there too. But I don't live up there, so you know how it is. But they had a bacon wrapped meatloaf.
Oh, okay.
That he ordered. It actually was pretty good. I did try a bit of it. It was solid.
Yeah, because that was my problem. Because I don't like meatloaf, and I'm like, everybody that makes meatloaf always tells me they have the best meatloaf.
Yes, they do.
Well, see, that's the thing is I've only had my mom's.
You see, so I've predominantly had my mom's, and it sucked.
And so I liked mine.
Yeah. Well, so we got onto this discussion, and we were like, we talked about the podcast, obviously, like how we're going to bring this up and like make this the question. I forgot about it, so I'm actually surprised that Deech remembered that.
I did not.
So, but we were talking about it because, like, growing up, my parents being very, very religious, we didn't eat beef or pork, so or like a lot of other things too, but not the point. So when my mom made meatloaf, it was with ground turkey, not ground beef.
Oh.
But she did at least use barbecue sauce instead of ketchup. I will say, I'll give her that credit at least. But still, by comparison, listeners, how do y'all feel about meatloaf?
I fucking hate turkey in anything though.
I love turkey and everything else.
I don't
like. I use ground. Like I don't eat that much beef either. I'll eat the fuck out of steak though, but or a burger. But other than that, I use ground turkey for everything.
Yeah, it's my least favorite bird.
Well, they don't like you either.
Yeah, that's my least favorite bird.
They don't fucking like you either.
Unless we're talking about all birds, then the seagull is my least favorite bird.
Say, like total or just the edible ones?
Edible birds. Yeah. Edible birds.
All right.
I do hate seagulls.
The turkey's probably my least favorite.
Yeah, I'll fucking right hook a seagull first chance I get. Like haymaker, a fucking Fight Night Round 2 style.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I've never ever finally officially considered a pest. Look out! You're not seeing me for 6 weeks.
He'll just be in the bush.
I'll be in a pile.
Don't you own a ghillie suit?
I may or may not.
Fair enough.
I don't really want to answer too many questions after the other way John fucked me over last month. And John, if you're listening again, fuck you.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Oh man,
that's good stuff.
Yeah, I was looking through our comments, like because most of the comments we have been getting have been on YouTube, and I still don't see one about that episode. Actually, I was looking back. But, most of the comments have been positive, though. So, like I said before, if you want to leave us a comment, we appreciate it. We actually do read them. So, that'd be pretty tight. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about meatloaf.
Yeah, that's good. That's kind of a change because anytime I looked at the YouTube ones just out of curiosity pre-video, there were no comments.
Oh yeah, we got we have them going back months, even.
Oh, that's good.
Some of them even years. Actually.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
Whenever I would look, I never saw comments.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, it's all on the creator page. So like, because I have the our side of the YouTube channel, it's all right here.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah, I can go through later with you if you want to. You know.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how you know it was a good one right there.
I'm just like reading back through these, like even like one going back from a year ago, like just a user, like a listener saying, "God, I don't know why I just said user." Fucking hell! I was in an interview earlier. I was like using technical terms again because we don't say like the person with the computer. No, they're a fucking user. Thanks, Tron. Anyways,
They're not humans.
they're not fucking users. Anyways. But yeah, like there was a Reddit post from a year. Somebody found us through a Reddit post from the Mile High podcast that told people to listen to us.
Oh wow.
Oh, I remember.
I love Mile High podcast.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember somebody talking about that.
No, dude, Mile High podcast has been around for a while.
No kidding.
It's this this couple that's married. They're from, like they just get high and tell history stories.
No shit.
Yeah.
It's like we were getting drunk and telling history stories.
Yeah.
Then we stopped drinking. Well, on the podcast. I stopped drinking my podcast. You stopped drinking in general.
Yeah.
But,
That's awesome. Yeah.
We should do something about that.
No, yeah, because they're pretty well known. Yeah.
That's dope. Well, shout out to them, actually. So I'm sorry, this is a whole year ago, but
Whoops.
whoops. Mile High Podcast. If you guys still listen to us, we do appreciate the shout out. Apparently, it was on a Reddit post. So.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that's dope. So thank you guys. That's really cool. And that's dope, man. A couple that just gets high and talks about history. That's fucking cool, man.
Yeah, dude. I used to watch their stuff like 4 or 5 years ago.
They've been around for a minute,
like
then.
religiously, you know. Oh yeah, they've been doing it for a while.
That's tight.
That was how I first the Denver airport stuff is from their podcast.
Oh no,
That was your first exposure?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
I thought you knew about it before we went there.
yeah. But I listened to that podcast before we went there.
Oh, you did mention that actually. I remember that now. Yeah, we had a whole conversation about that. That was like what 3 years ago, I think. 2 or 3 years ago.
It was a hot minute ago.
We went. Yeah, it was wild. We need to go back to Denver.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff.
I agree.
That's good stuff out there. I mean, I don't partake, but I just enjoyed everything else about the city.
It was still beautiful. The
Oh, yeah,
hiking, the city, all that stuff.
The hiking was top tier.
Yeah.
It's good stuff out there. Anyways, so the topic for today, what we got going on?
Oh yeah, this is a really good
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry. Did we finish our discussion about meatloaf?
Meatloaf sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. That's
was
about
there
it.
an actual icebreaker question? Or?
I just want to know if you liked it or not.
Oh, okay.
Because me and Aaron, I already knew Aaron's answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So you just wanted to attack me.
Yeah,
unprovokely.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I weakened you with the chamoy, the tahi. I took you off your fucking side. Musashi!
Musashi.
Fuck.
Musashi again.
DJ, you'd have to wake up real early and open your eyes real fucking wide
Oh, man.
before you Musashi me.
You know what's great is like I do wake up early.
I was about to say, like, you both wake up super early.
I'm sure
actually.
we're on the same schedule.
Yeah.
Like, I'm about to say, like, you know what's really messed up though is like since like I've been unemployed for a little bit now, like I still wake up super early in the morning. And I forgot who I was talking to. I was talking to I forgot who it was now. I'm like, man, like it's super weird. I still wake up this early. Like I wake up earlier than I used to for my job. Just naturally, I just get up and start doing shit. And I forgot what it was. They're like, yeah, you don't wake up for something you hate anymore. So you actually like your body just wants to be up now.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's right. Yeah, I just wake up, do shit around the house, and play video games all day. It's fucking great.
I used to get up an hour earlier at my old job pre-COVID, and because we started at 5, and now, and I never woke up early. I always woke up with the alarm, but now I wake up an hour later than I used to, and now I'll wake up. I'll go back to bed, thank God, but I'll wake up before my old alarm would have even gone off.
Yeah.
This has been going on for years now. I'll just wake up and it's like 4 o'clock and like, the hell? Yeah, whatever. Go back to bed. Yeah. It's very strange.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
that.
it's
That's
weird.
15 years of programming too.
That's true. Yeah,
So-
you were at that job for a while.
Long time.
Yeah, I keep the tech industry is fucking tumultuous, so I can't call it, man.
Yeah.
Anywho, I mean, okay, I wake up, do some shit around the house, apply for a few jobs, maybe take a nap, and then I play video games. But it's pretty great though, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, I know. I had my year.
That's right. Yeah, you were out for a year, right?
A year and 2 months.
Yeah, I'm trying not to make it more than like a few months,
dude,
honestly.
that entire job economy was bullshit.
Well, dude, the tech industry right now, honestly, we're going to probably talk about this on the Patreon, so I'm going to save it. I'm going to hold that thought.
Sure.
So, yeah, if you want to hear more about my opinions on things, check out the Patreon.
And mine.
You want to hear some opinions on things.
Get the gun.
Get the kick.
Glossaurus, so sending it.
I brought my own.
Fair enough. All right, so today, this is actually DJ's topic, man. So what's going on, dude? What do you want to...
Yeah, we've talked a lot about World War II stuff. We've talked about methed out fucking Nazis.
Meth Nazis, man. That's an old episode right there. That's good stuff.
Privatan.
Super old episode. We've talked about particular war, fucking crazy guys, British dudes with umbrellas stabbing people in the eyes.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was actually that was our first actual episode. Yeah. If you guys want to go back, and I mean go back to the beginning, our first actual topic episode was about the Mad British Lads. I believe I called it, and a dude did stab a Nazi tank driver in the eye with an umbrella.
Yes,
it's a great time. Go back and listen to
it. We talked about fucking the Japanese trying to fucking balloon bomb us.
They did
Well, not trying to.
Well, okay, right.
They done did it.
Yeah, they got some.
Well, and the airplane one, the one that came off the sub. That was a success.
Yeah, and this was was a really cool one for me because I had no idea about it. I was just kind of like just trying to find some new stuff that was new to me. And this particular group was called the Ghost Army, and probably actually, the most nonviolent part of World War II. You know. I think, in my opinion, you know,
I mean, they delayed the violence.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think they fired a bullet.
Well, they had a security component. I don't know if they ever fired a bullet, but they had a security, cordon, to protect them while they're doing their job.
Oh, well, yeah.
And everything, so I very, very well could have. I don't know. You could be right. But I'm just saying, they weren't just out there with their record players and fun inflatables.
So during World War II, as America is now pressing into Europe, they're looking for new tactics to kind of distract the enemy. And this is fucking warfare. There's going to be new ways to try to fight battles. And this was something they kind of got from British deception tactics. So they basically started this whole battalion that was going to be consistent of sound engineers, artists, and they were basically going to be a decoy squad. They were going to be meant to distract the enemy. They weren't actually there to be in battle or anything like that.
So now you had mentioned that they were trying to they got this tactic from the British, you said?
Yeah, they said it was a British deception tactic.
Okay, cool.
Inspired by.
It started in Africa, if I remember right.
Because the first thought that I this is mostly DJ on this one, but I wanted to bring up it reminds me of Operation Mincemeat because that was British. Which is on the list too, by the way. I have that on my list of things to talk about. So we're going to cover that eventually. Operation Mincemeat is it's another deception thing. It's going to be great. We go ahead. I'm sorry.
Did we not?
Mincemeat? No, I don't think so.
I think we mentioned it then.
We might have mentioned it, but I don't think we ever actually fully covered it.
Okay. I was going to say, I know we've said mincemeat on here once.
It's a fun word.
Yeah. Well, no, in reference to the operation.
It's a fun time.
But, yeah.
Well, not for one guy, but.
Well, yeah, not for that particular guy.
No. Anyways.
But the North Africa campaign.
Right.
Is where the idea kind of came from.
Okay. So in 1943, going into 1944, the U.S. formed the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops. And this was going to be in quote-unquote elite 1,100-man group comprised of, as we said, sound engineers, designers, actors, people from Hollywood. They were reaching into Philadelphia, New York colleges, going into bars, recruiting people, because they didn't want soldiers. They wanted people to create a concept, a background, and they did a lot of really, really crazy stuff. You could break down all of this into three major groups. They had a camouflage unit that had its own responsibilities. They had a sonic unit that had its own responsibilities, and then they had a radio unit. And they all had different tactics, and everybody had, different roles to play. But barely any of them were soldiers.
Okay, yeah.
These were like regular fucking people.
Well, I mean, they were soldiers. They're in the U.S. Army.
Yeah, well, they were recruited, but they weren't like people that were like joining. They weren't drafted. They were basically told like, "Hey, we're gonna do this kind of psychological warfare. You guys want to be part of it?" Yeah, no, I just mean every picture I saw of them, they're in uniform. Oh yeah, so, they definitely
they're soldiers. They're just not combat arms.
Yeah. They're not GIs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So the camouflage unit was going to be the artists and designers. These guys' main responsibility was going to be we need vehicles that are going to look like tanks, that are going to look like Jeeps, that are going to we're going to need soldiers, things that look like soldiers to put out into the field. I actually watched a documentary about this, which went more in detail about the actual soldiers that were involved in this. And it was really fucking cool, them going over the process. Like, they actually disguised a whole U.S. base that they had in Europe and made it look like it was farmland. Mm-hmm. It was fucking incredible. Like, if you see, they went like a helicopter view of the before and after. Mm-hmm. And it looked like a Bob Ross painting afterwards. Like, they had completely you could tell what it was because they had the before and after.
Oh yes, happy little trees.
But yeah.
Well, when I was watching and reading on this and everything, it reminded me, because I don't know if they were ever involved. Also, actually, I don't remember whose ship it was. Now that I think about it, it could have been the other side just as easily. But in World War II, there was a battleship of some type floating around that had trees and fake foliage and everything hanging all over it.
Oh wow!
And it basically looked like an island.
That's awesome.
And then all of a sudden it would start moving.
Yeah.
And these guys made me think of that. And I really don't remember whose ship it was. It was a big deal at the time.
Yeah. So like I said, the camouflage unit was basically they were trying to go over ways. How can we use Jeeps that aren't Jeeps? You know what I mean? Because they're not going to use actual U.S. Army equipment. Mm-hmm. They're trying to, of course, be cost effective. So they went over a couple different ideas. They were building like metal foldable frames that they could like put over a Jeep to make it look like a Sherman tank, something like that. Took too long to put up, too many pieces, and they had to carry it around in another truck because it was a lot.
And this was back in the day when you were, what the hell do you call it? Not salvage. Rationing metals.
Yeah, that's right. That's very true.
Something that no generation has seen since the 40s. Mm. And where you didn't throw out aluminum, you didn't throw out, any of these metals and everything. They went straight to the war effort.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
So you're not going to do anything like that.
And you got to imagine, like, you go into the military back then. You got your little military fucking handbook. You have rules. Things. They didn't have a handbook. There was nobody teaching them how to be deceptive. So they basically made their own handbook, not a physical handbook, but they made their own rules of how we can do this. You know what I mean? So with the tanks, this is probably the most well-known thing about this whole story is they actually created these inflatable tanks. They had inflatable tanks. They had inflatable Sherman tanks. They had inflatable Jeeps. They had inflatable soldiers that weighed around 90 to 100 pounds. And when they deflated, you could put them in a simple bag that was just as big as a duffel bag for them to carry. It was really quite fucking genius, you know? Because they said it would take about 15 to 20 minutes to fill up with air if they had an air compressor. If they didn't have an air compressor, they could use bike pumps. If they didn't have bike pumps, they could still blow it up with their lungs. So no matter what.
I guess the 40s. Use your lungs that are filled with smoke because everybody back there is everybody smoked. Like,
can you imagine what the inside of that thing smelled like?
So like that bag of fucking chamoy.
The bag of fucking peaches. God, why did I even bring it up?
I actually I had to look it up because you were actually right, Ben. We did talk about Operation Mesmeat before. It was back in the special operations episode. So operations of the SOE, I believe it was titled. That was back last year in April. So go back and listen to that episode. It's pretty good. But yeah, the inflatable tanks. When you mentioned that, I've actually seen there's videos of them inflating those inflatable tanks.
Oh yeah, it's pretty funny because there's like a bunch of
Take
like
the top off.
Yeah,
yeah, they're just like flopping them over, and it's funny too because like you would have two guys crawl under the tank and walk under and just stand up and walk with the fucking thing. You just see their legs at the bottom.
Hell yeah.
But above, from a helicopter or an airplane view, if you're a B-52 flying over, it looks like, oh, that's the Americans. And that was kind of one of the, I should mention before I get into the units that they had. These soldiers were, like I said, were kind of like unaware of exactly what's going on. They know they're here to do deception. But when it came down to it, they were like, so you mean to tell us we're going to go out there to purposely get attention drawn to us so they can fire at us and try to kill us? And they were like, correct.
Yes.
No.
And they did
fine.
it. Yeah.
It's fine. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
And really just get in position to deflect an invasion.
Yeah. But these guys they were basically in the mentality that we just got signed into a Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Like we are literally here as just distraction and
It
bait.
would still be a better movie,
You know, because
than the one we got.
Like I said, they found these guys at like Hollywood agencies, colleges, and bars. So like the people that they picked up at this point are like, I'm fucking expendable as fuck. Like, what? What am I doing?
Here's your art major for good for once.
Like, here's your
fucking hippie.
Here's your balloon tank.
The irony in World War II.
Right.
Here's your balloon gun. Here's your balloon soldier.
Yeah, now go fuck off in that direction.
Good luck.
But
just head towards the Rhine River.
Do you know how many inflatable ladies they made as a gag?
Oh god, the whole industry.
I should say,
I call it Gladys.
In my opinion, they got all of the artists. Like they literally gathered like the gayest dudes they could find and like put them in a unit. They got like a bunch of like fashion designers and like painters in the 40s and put them in this unit.
Well, that's who made the Nazi uniforms. That was Hugo Boss.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I knew that.
Yeah, it's honestly, I mean, fuck Nazis, but it's why they were so damn stylish.
Oh, it's undeniable. I mean, again,
just hitting.
Nazi Germany bad, but
Right, of course.
No, it's like fantastic uniforms.
Super clean outfits.
Oh yeah, clean as fuck, dude.
Like,
all that leather? Come on. Anyways.
that's
Knee highs
Yeah, right? Like, come on.
popping at the thighs. What you mean?
Come on.
That's
Fuck
why.
outta here.
That's why when you're watching a movie and the villain is this like super suave and well dressed person, you fucking believe it because it happened in real life.
Right. But yeah, so but like you were saying before, and like yeah, from a plane height, so the Germans could fly over. And not a B-52, but a Messerschmitt.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to let it slide.
I wasn't.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because I know
Thank you, Aaron. Fuck you, Ben.
I was going to let it slide, I said.
Oh, wait, yeah.
He did it.
Thank you,
Fuck
Ben.
you.
Fuck you.
Dude, look, I'm just saying that one of our listeners is going to be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? So, yeah, but like,
We're just happy DJ's here talking.
Honestly. So, yeah, like, pretty much, yeah, you'll have a German pilot coming over like, what's is das? And then, like, das is a fucking inflatable balloon, and they have no idea. So,
and also from an altitude beyond what the guns can reach. So no matter what, they have to be at a certain ceiling, and meaning that they can't see that great. But like I can tell what the outline of a tank is. What else would it be but a tank?
Right,
or
exactly.
it's an elephant lying down. Those are the two options.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you know, the camouflage part of this, and this was the camouflage, I should say, is called the 603rd Camouflage Engineers. That was their official title. And
I had to look that up and make sure somebody wasn't fucking with me.
Yeah,
I didn't trust that title at all.
Yeah, it's like what do you mean 603rd? Like,
yeah, well, I mean the numbers part is like that. Those are always all over the board as just disinformation. Always has been, always will be. Everybody, it was when I read Camouflage Battalion, like, had to make sure this person did their research. Like, by God, it's real.
Yeah, it's legit. And like I said, it was only one phase of this, and not even the first phase. I guess the first phase, I should say, would be the 406 Combat Engineers. And these guys were part of the logistical construction engineering phase. So these were the guys who were going to be responsible to basically put the canvas for the artists to paint on. You know what I mean?
Obviously, Bob Ross. Yes.
Yeah, these were the motherfucking Bob Rosses. You know, when he paints a beautiful painting and then he just takes the black paint and goes across it, and you're like, oh, you fucking just ruined it. And then it's okay. Be happy. He cleans the paintbrush all crazy fast, and then he paints it, and it's beautiful again.
I feel like you took the wrong lesson away from all of this reading this week.
He doesn't even let me get to the juicy part.
No, this is what you get for your vanilla comments, you fucker.
We're never gonna get there.
But combat engineers, those were the guys basically that were going to be responsible for if American soldiers needed to be hidden, they were going to be the ones who were going to design the area to look like they weren't there. And basically set the stage for anywhere they were going to be doing deception. You know what I mean?
I would say, or vice versa, too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, vice versa. Kind of the boring part of this whole ordeal, you know. But they are like the base of this whole thing. These guys actually building everything that everybody needs to play
I wouldn't say
part,
it's really boring at all, but
it's not it's not boring. They just had the fun part of war.
Yeah, honestly, the easiest part.
More or less, you know.
Just set up and chill.
You had a bounce house here the other week. You know what I'm talking about. Hey, guys, let's go jump on the tank.
All right, there was a bounce house in my backyard, and there were no children here, so yeah, that's about right. that's all factual.
I'm sorry.
Amazing.
You didn't have a bounce house. Somebody had a bounce house delivered here.
It was in my backyard, though.
That's what I should have said.
Yep, that happened.
That's amazing. I love that. Okay, so another phase of this would have been the 3132nd Sonic Company, and this was going to be responsible for audio deception, creating battle and vehicle noises.
And so this was once they were across the Atlantic.
Yeah,
so we haven't really. Yeah, so to start, because and I don't know how your notes are set up, but to start, these guys were the ones that were making the Nazis believe that we were invading from Calais, or we're not from, but
Pas-de-Calais.
Yeah, we're going to invade Calais, not Normandy. And
there's the radio transmission part, which we'll get to next.
That too. Tied in
so,
and whatnot.
which is actually a separate company.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's comprised of 4 units. I think I said 3 earlier.
Well, yeah, I meant tied into the mission, though.
These guys were basically responsible for studying and getting very used to their own transmissions, U.S. transmissions of all sorts, so they could mimic them and send them out. So they would mimic vehicle noises, tank noises, so they could put themselves in an area and actually play noises as if a tank was driving through the woods.
Right.
And Germans could hear it and be like, over there, you know?
Right.
Or they would do things like, God damn it, I lost what I just did.
Exactly.
But no, I wasn't trying to detract. I didn't know if you were already jumping to post invasion without talking about D-Day.
No, I haven't even really talked about.
Okay.
I'm basically just breaking down the 4 parts of how they operate.
Okay,
and then we can kind of get into the missions they were actually involved in and things like that. Because it's pretty cool, because we talk about like the inflatable tanks and stuff. They do deflate. And it kind of sucks if you fucking drive up with the tank and your fucking turret's like facing the ground like a fucking elephant.
Ladies do complain about that, yes.
Time comes for us all.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what I was talking about. Not only were these guys responsible for creating the noises.
The 86th Blue Trooper, great sir! I hate those commercials.
Could you imagine if they played a noise like this to like distract people like the Germans in the woods?
Oh, wait, which one am I doing here?
Do the not movie one. If you're like in the woods as a German and you're like, shh, what is that?
First question, is it translated in this hypothetical?
What is that noise?
Are you referring to this one?
Everything that guy just says.
No,
bullshit.
it's not the one. No.
Well, you said the one that wasn't a movie quote. You gave me 2 movie quotes.
Those are movie quotes. You just the one that's not a movie quote.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh god. Oh god.
Okay, yeah, you're a German in the woods and you think you hear a noise. It's the Fuhrer. We go back now.
So immediately, and Aaron, you'll appreciate this. Immediately, my mind goes to that scene from Band of Brothers where they make what's his face from Friends think that their CEO is in the bushes.
Oh yeah.
Except now it's just Hitler. The Germans are having the same. Have you seen Band of Brothers?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so
oh man, you're missing out.
Yeah, you are missing out. And there's a scene where somebody imitates him. He thinks that the commanding officer is there yelling at him to cut a fence that he's not supposed to cut. And now I'm over here thinking some not poor German, but some German thinks that Hitler is there pissed off at the job that they're doing.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going for.
Jeez.
That's the German version of Band of Brothers.
They actually did make one, essentially. I forgot what it was called. I think it's on...
Did they really?
It's the equivalent of that, but I think it's on like Prime Video.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up. I'll look at the name for it. Keep going.
Yeah. The Armchair Historian. I don't know if you've ever seen that YouTube video or YouTube channel.
I'm familiar with him.
He's got a lot of good videos of the War for Independence from the British perspective, D-Day from the German perspective.
Yeah,
stuff like that. It's really cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
This unit's other responsibility, other than making these fake Hitler noises in the woods, was to be study their own radio transmissions.
I found it, by the way.
Hitler noises. Just if you close caption like a neo-Nazi rally, nowadays you just put it on mute, but the captions around it just says Hitler noises.
Jeez. By the way, it was described as the German Band of Brothers series. It's called Generation War. It's on Prime, like I did say though.
I'll have to check that out. At least the trailer, but I'll have to check that out.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Carry on.
Okay, so their other responsibility was to send out fake radio transmissions because apparently around 70 to 75% of the Germans' intel was from intercepted transmissions that they received. So these guys were like, okay, we'll just send out fake, transmissions to make them think, they're basically going to set up the stage every which type of way to make the Germans think we're going to head this direction, we're going to be here at this time, or we're going to sneak up around this direction. And that was just, like I said, one of the many tricks that this particular unit was in charge of.
Yeah, hit them with the old bamboozle.
Yep, the old flea flicker.
The old flim flam.
Yep.
Old razzle dazzle.
The quarterback sneak.
Yes, the annexation of Puerto Rico. I am so glad that the majority of our listeners, like according to the internet at least, the majority of our listeners are people in our age group, so they should get every one of those references. And I am disappointed if they don't.
And I made a mistake. Sorry, the Sonic company was only responsible for the audio deception, so they created the noises.
Okay.
The Signal company was the ones responsible for the radio deception. So their job was really intricate because they had to know all of the code and everything that military would use without really knowing anything. Like I said, these are just guys they got from a Philadelphia bar. They're like, hey, Tony, we're going to war. If you watch the documentary, some of these guys are so fucking New York that their jaw is cocked like to the left. You ever see like a real Italian New York guy talk and it's just part of his mouth is just like crooked like that? Yeah,
that's like he's been losing his whole life.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Just never caught a break.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Some notable members, I guess some names we could mention. There's a lot of people, a lot of figures. Like I said, this was 1,100 guys. In the documentary, it included a Bill Blass, who was a painter, Ellsworth Kelly, who was an illustrator, and Arthur Singer, who was a designer. These guys too, if you watch the documentary, it was really cool. We'll have to get the pictures online. These guys did a lot of artwork while they traveled on their off time. That's all they did was draw.
Paint, it makes sense.
Things like that. So they really have a lot of beautiful fucking artwork. This one guy did caricatures, and he did a caricature for every single person in his unit because they were all from different parts of the country. And this guy's just a New York, fucking Dago guy that's like, he's never seen, any of this stuff before. So the caricatures are so fucking funny. They're really cool.
And nobody else was painting in Germany at this time.
It all started because some dickhead had bad art. Nobody bought it.
Okay, yeah, we already got into a lot of the deception tactics and things they would use. A lot of the cool things they did is they set up. This was the engineers and all that stuff. They would set up whole entire fake headquarters. They would make it seem like there was a whole ass building with a bunch of jeeps, a bunch of tanks lined up, and there would be nobody there. Mm-hmm. So they would stage everything and set it up in an ample amount of time, and just make it seem if you were flying overhead, they're like, "Ooh, there they are," and then
says they are.
So
Silly Americans.
And now I must wonder, what are the Chinese doing with all these ghost cities?
We're not covering that today. We're not fucking getting into that today. We're not even doing that. Nope.
Am I right or am I right, people?
Nope, we're not touching that. Not touching that. Their hackers are better than ours right now. I'm not touching that. Nope.
We'll get into some of the missions these guys were involved in. We don't got to go over all of them.
Sure.
But they conducted a lot. They conducted about 22 missions in Europe between 1944 and 1945, which is actually a lot. They were there indirectly during D-Day.
Yeah, Operation Bodyguard.
Yeah, exactly. Which I don't really know a lot about. I just recognize here and there.
I can say something about it.
Yeah.
I have words. Mm-hmm. I have thoughts that I just Googled. Well, because I remembered there's a documentary there's so many fucking World War II documentaries. There's so many. So many. But one of the ones that I enjoyed, actually the History Channel did it back when they still did history. Amazing. What a time that we were alive.
Oh, yeah.
Those were the days.
When the Learning Channel was still the Learning Channel.
Channel 58, man. Fucking History Channel.
And not an hour of can this whale fit in these pants?
Can it? But seriously, though. I have questions. All right. So, one of the documentaries that I was watching, though, for World War II, I watched a while ago, but it was, if you have, like, Disney Plus or Hulu is on there, so just in case if you guys want to watch it, it's called, I think it's called Patton 360. So it covers the career of General Patton.
That sounds very familiar.
But it covers him from prior World War II into obviously his death. But one of the things they cover in it was what he was doing during D-Day. So as most people probably and I think General Patton, they think like this dude with two fucking revolvers riding on top of a tank in the spearhead of a battle,
or the flag behind him. Those are the two.
Cigar in his mouth.
Yeah.
Two revolvers and with pearl holsters. This is the iconic image of him. But the part of his career that had like kind of a ding on it, if you will, was when he got in trouble for slapping a soldier that had a shell shock. So essentially, like there were two. I think
they called it
not shell shock. It was
you're right, but
like battlefield fatigue or
soldier fatigue.
There we go.
Yeah, it was shell shock, but they called it soldier's fatigue.
Yeah, because they still
back then
because shell shock wasn't until Vietnam.
No, that actually was World War I.
It was World War I.
Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
From the shelling, like
okay.
That's
the term,
first time anybody ever really experienced round the clock.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
barrages.
Yeah.
So the human brain can only take so much, essentially. Blah 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 blah. So, but there were these two. I think it was two soldiers. I feel like one or two. I felt like
one
it was two.
for sure.
It was definitely one for sure.
The second one might have been the one that
Yeah.
pushed it over the edge. Maybe if there was a second one. I don't know.
Right.
It's been a while.
So before D-Day happened, essentially, there were these soldiers that were in a medical tent. They looked like they were perfectly healthy. Obviously, their brains were broken. And Patton, who was this old dude who was, gung-ho, men are men and da-da-da-da, that type of guy. Well, he didn't really see it as them having an issue. He thought that they were just being pansies. And so he smacked them to get them to go back into the field.
Hell yeah.
Well, that's really not okay.
Not the right way.
That's heavily frowned upon. And so he essentially got demoted. Part of his demotion involved this. So Operation Bodyguard. So I think briefly, Ben, you had touched on this when you're talking about the landing of in Calais and how the Germans were deceived into thinking that the Allies were going to land there. So they put a bunch of their troops up there. They had like reinforced tanks up there. Pretty much everything was set up to stop a landing in Calais. Well, it was also the shortest distance between.
That's what I was just going to say.
It was the shortest distance between England and France as well. So there was a few reasons why, but the deception was definitely part of it. Those fake tanks. Whenever I think about the fake tanks, I think about that because they set them up across the I guess the ocean. The channel.
Still ocean water.
Yeah, ocean water, but it's a channel, right? So, Operation Bodyguard. Just the quick synopsis of it. They used freight radio transmissions, so pretty much what you were mentioning before. The dummy troops and vehicles, again, like the inflatables that you were mentioning as well. One of the things that I thought about when we first brought this up was when they started, because part of the D-Day invasion was an airborne assault behind the lines in France. And what they did was actually landed dummies in a separate part.
Wow.
So yeah, imagine you're like an Air Force pilot and he's got a bunch of dolls in the back with parachutes attached to them. Like stupid
Bunch of blow-up
Nazis.
dolls.
Just
Idiots.
Well, what was really cool about
Why do
it,
they look so surprised?
every one of them.
You know what it reminds me of is Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, wow.
Like
I know exactly what you're talking about, too.
Inflatable soldiers.
Hell yeah. One of the cool things about the paratroopers, though, was that when they were landing, I think it was part of the mechanism, because they had a mechanism with them. So when they were thrown out of a plane, the parachute deployed because of the pulley system. But there was also another mechanism with it to make it sound like they were shooting. Yeah. So like they attached like these little like fireworks to them essentially, and made it seem like these dolls were shooting at the Germans. So like these stupid Nazis were hiding behind cover while they were getting shot at by these fake dolls.
That's fucking.
And that's called static line.
Yeah, the static line. Yes.
That's what pulls the chute.
Yes, that is that yes. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to Patton. The Ghost Army was known as the first U.S. Army group, which was created by Patton as part of Operation Bodyguard. So while he got sent back, like again, he wasn't on the front line the entire. Again, you think like Patton was always at the front, always doing stuff. No, he was in the back doing this because he slapped a dude with that was having a
PTSD.
A break. He essentially had PTSD. Exactly,
just before it had the name.
Before it had the name, right, exactly.
Yeah, because it was. So DJ, just to kind of drive home. So first it was shell shock, then it was like soldier fatigue or battlefield fatigue. Then it was the syndrome. Vietnam syndrome, and it was shortened to the syndrome. And then when you got into like the, I don't know, I guess 90s probably, because I definitely remember hearing Vietnam syndrome even when I was a kid and watching movies about Vietnam and whatnot.
I think I'm thinking 90s,
of it. 2000s. That's when PTSD finally. Comes out as like the term.
Yeah, I think I was thinking of Shell Shock Vietnam because there was a video game called Shell Shock.
It was on PS2, I think.
Yeah, and I think that I was just relating it to that.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nobody will fuck over U.S. soldiers better than the government. So they just kept changing the term for it, kept downplaying how bad it was.
Yeah.
And that's a topic for another time, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just the U.S. government trying to downplay how bad soldiers actually have it.
Yeah.
Thanks, government. You dicks.
Thanks, guys.
Anywho, but yeah, that was the short, the very, very condensed version of Operation Bodyguard. So you can carry on.
We'll go over some of the missions they were involved in. Like I said, they did around 22 missions in about a year's worth of time. Number one, Operation Elephant in July 1944. They simulated the 6th Armored Division to misdirect German artillery. Which is like a lot of this is like I say, we did inflatable tank, whatever. It wasn't like just one. Like they would set up a whole ass fucking unit to make the Germans think like they're fucking here. You know,
At some point, I think they were setting up 2 divisions, which is about 30,000.
From my understanding, from watching the
representation of 30,000 men, I should say.
Yeah, from my understanding, from watching the documentary, is America is basically pushing the Germans back to the Rhine River to like just the final defense, and just kind of redirecting, like slowly closing the fucking gap. You know, using the Ghost Army partially.
Sure. Zelva's out. No, Zelva's out.
And bullets for the other.
Yeah. It reminds me of a video game. I can't think of which one, you know.
There's so many.
Great story.
Another one, Operation Breast, and it's spelled BREST. In August 1944, they created dummy positions and activity near the breast to support siege, or near Brest, so I guess that's somewhere in... Europe?
Sure.
BREST.
I sure fucking hope so.
Yeah, I should have looked that up. That's my bad.
Yeah, I don't want to search that.
Operation Koblenz, which was September 1944.
Battle of the Bulge was December a 44.
So we got the Battle of the Bulge and Operation Breasts. What else have we got going on there?
Well, fair point. I was just going with Battle of the Bulge is 44, or December of 44, so we know where they were for that.
Okay.
Bastogne.
Well, we're in September of 44.
No,
right
I know.
now. Yeah.
So what I'm saying though is like you can only be this far east. If the Battle of the Bulge is still to come.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that one they simulated a large crossing on the Rhine with a fake bridge building sounds.
Probably Belgium. I bet you that's where it was. One more time, DJ. I was stuck trying to decode.
They simulated a large crossing on the Rhine with a fake bridge building sounds.
Oh, all right.
Which is,
trying
not to if I'm under the bridge, I'm like.
So it's interesting. I love this. Don't get me wrong, but it's interesting because it's a war being fought with the same tactics that Homer Simpson uses to avoid work.
Hey man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
Works. That's the craziest part because like when they basically put in the letter for this, it was like they're not gonna let us do this, and the government was like, "Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
How much money do you need? Here you go."
It cost them virtually nothing to do any of this compared to the rest of the world.
Yeah, there was no ammo. They literally
I guarantee you the rubber was the most expensive part of this entire operation.
Yeah, the decoy balloons.
Probably.
I guarantee it.
Probably.
And they honestly they look pretty legit.
The fact that their 1940s fucking rubber looks like that, and you can't get a fucking pool floaty to last one season nowadays.
It shows the quality decline. Yes,
exactly.
Oh man, did you mention Operation Fortitude as well?
No, I actually don't have that one on here.
Okay. It was just there was a north plan and a south plan. Fortitude was the plan for Norway. In the north, obviously Norway, very far north. And then Fortitude South was the fake invasion that I mentioned before for Pas de Calais.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that was just part of it. Was just like a sub. It was a sub operation to Bodyguard, essentially.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, they did 22 missions and
they were busy.
Collectively, they say these guys would have saved what was it? Was
30 to 50,000.
Yeah, I thought it was 15 to 30,000.
Oh, maybe it was 15.
Yeah, I think it was like 15 to 30,000 soldiers were saved directly because of these guys' actions.
That's cool. Yeah,
and
that's great.
They didn't even fire a single bullet.
And since we are talking about invasion and whatnot, this also butted up nicely to the whole Panzer fiasco with Hitler, Rommel, and the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you did any of that reading. And no. I get it all twisted and everything and I didn't write it down. But basically, this is the time where everybody's arguing about where the on the Nazi side. Everybody's arguing.
Oh, I can help you with this.
Yeah, which way they're going to come from, blah blah blah. And so the Panzer divisions get carved up, and then somebody gets these, somebody gets those. Rommel gets these, and the ones that were the furthest west, and they're already split up real bad. If you look at the map, but the ones that were furthest west, that would have been the ones that would have gotten used if they were sent to the Atlantic Wall during the Normandy invasion. Those specific ones were the ones that Hitler said, not unless I say something.
Yeah, and guess who was sleeping? So
the world's luckiest catnap,
dude. That was fucking. But again, it was like we in our last episode we discussed how what was it? Vice Admiral Musin, I believe his name was. Omazu, yeah.
Omazu?
How he just had a really bad day.
Yeah.
Because everybody was so afraid of him that nobody wanted to tell him, hey, everything's fucked and your plan is not going to work. It's the same situation, only with Germany. Yeah. It's like, all right, this plan's kind of fucked, but we don't want to wake him up to tell him.
See, I wouldn't want to wake Hitler up. The other guy, I would wake up.
Yeah. I don't even think Hitler's sleeping in the first place, man.
He was sleeping in, man. He had a long day.
He's messed out the whole fucking time.
He was in his 50s and had Parkinson's.
And probably syphilis, too, wasn't it?
Did he?
I don't remember.
But wasn't he just juiced up on meth all the time?
He was juiced up on a concoction.
A lot of stuff.
It was
cocaine, meth, a whole mess of stuff was keeping him going.
Yeah, he was
or
on a
killing
lot of
him,
things.
depending on what you talk to and what you want to look at.
Yeah, well, and what you job, but yeah,
what you want to believe, but all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, he was high as fuck, boy.
Have you ever watched Downfall?
No.
You need to watch Downfall.
Is that on Netflix?
The last time I watched it on something was on YouTube.
Oh,
And it moves all over the place. But it's Hitler's last days in his bunker, and it's a story directly from his last secretary.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
I should have mentioned this before when I was talking about the camouflage unit. I didn't think about it. They also, the designers I talked about, the clothing designers, the reason they did this is because they would go into town, go to the local bars, they would dress as the German soldiers.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, they would act as if they were drunk in a bar and basically start spreading rumors. Or they would sit in where they would think spies would be at and try to deliver fake information.
Yeah, I would say I didn't know them to dress as Germans. I thought they were just dressed as American units that didn't exist, and go into the bars that were populated by spies.
Oh,
I can see that being a thing.
Yeah, maybe that's okay. Maybe I misread that.
I could be wrong. I didn't come across anything where they're dressed as Germans.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. No, their clothing, I think, was probably everything but dressed as Germans. Now that I'm thinking about it, they probably just dressed themselves as civilians, or like you said, the U.S.
Yeah, because that's easier to do.
Yeah. Well, the big thing was military units that did not exist.
That makes it easier.
And actually, some that did. Now that I think about it, but more often the ones that didn't, and then we're gonna go to Belgium.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Knock them right in the
I
fucking
want
mouth.
waffles. I'm going to Belgium. I'm getting my gun.
We're gonna be there. We're gonna be there April 2nd. Did you hear me? April 2nd.
That was another cool thing that the engineers would do is they would actually memorize and learn the Morse code and send fake signals that way as well, which is just another fake little cool fake thing they did. But you are correct. They would design fake insignias of certain divisions in army units to make them think they were in an area, or just to try to gain intel.
The first LOL was sent by Morris Code by one of these dudes.
The first RIP.
Oh God.
Our sub is sinking.
F's in chat voice.
And the way they operated these missions was like really, really, really effective, because it was in so many phases, and they had 4 different units of all these guys, and everything had to go. First, you send out the locals, you recon the area, you spread out the information. Second is you get to the spot you're going to do and set up all your deployment inflatables, whatever fake base you're going to set up, and all that stuff. And then after that, you do all the fake noises, the radio transmissions. You get them fucking close, And then after that, you guys are gone. Leave whatever equipment you left there. You can always make more. And it was like fucking kind of golden. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I said, them doing the redirection, saving all of the lives was like, that's a lot of fucking people. 15 to 30,000
I mean,
people.
everybody knows how bad D-Day was.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But not how bad it could have been. It's like that. It's like honestly, it was like the atom bombs versus invading Japan.
Yeah. Do you guys have any more on the battles that they're involved in?
No. I have a quote about deception I was going to bring up.
Okay,
but
yeah,
other than
absolutely,
that, because again, like deception has been such a base part of warfare since forever. I remember Sun Tzu having something to say about it. I had to look it up. I didn't remember what the fuck he said about it. Mm-hmm. I mean, Sun Tzu said a lot of things.
A lot of things.
He really did. I own the book. It's really thin, but it's a lot of words.
Yeah, lot of words, different language. There's a whole bunch of hurdles in there.
There's a lot going on there. But anyways, the internet said that Sun Tzu once said, "All warfare is based on deception. Hence, when we are able to attack, we must seem unavailable. When using our forces, we must appear inactive. When we are near, we must make the enemy believe we are far. When we are far, we must make them believe that we are near." Sun Tzu.
I do.
Sun Tzu once said.
I do remember that one. And then he said Musashi.
Musashi. That's all I was thinking when you were reading that. I was like, Musashi, you're dead. You're already dead.
Musashi. That's how you don't get beat over the head with a fucking boat oar.
That's the episode of Deadliest Warrior I deserved. Sun Tzu versus Musashi.
Musashi showing up late. You're gonna smack him over the head with a fucking boat oar. It's fine.
Musashi hands down. I put my money on Musashi any day over Sun Tzu. No disrespect.
Yeah, but yeah, boat oar.
So 1,100 soldiers responsible for saving 15,000 to 30 people. These guys didn't receive any type of recognition or awards until decades later. These guys were sworn to secrecy, basically,
For
after completing
40
these missions.
years.
Yeah.
45 years.
Yeah, it wasn't until 1996 until they were actually acknowledged for the lives that they saved and everything like that. In 2013, PBS put out a documentary about it where they actually started the documentary I was just telling you about. They actually started interviewing the soldiers and talking about like their experience there, not just the battles. Because before, like I said, everybody just knew about the inflatable tanks and that was it. And these guys opened up about the whole fucking project, how big it was, and how many moving parts were involved in this, and the fact that they were just normal guys.
Imagine being like a obviously very retired German soldier and just hearing about this. Like, you son of a bitch.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Just like, I know I heard that thing. I know what I heard.
Like, I want to say, like, the youngest guy that they interviewed by the time the documentary came out was, like, fucking 90 years old or something like that. Like, it's fucking years later, these guys weren't even talking about this.
When they got that congressional medal in 2022...
Yeah, in 2022.
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
I think there were only 3 of them surviving yet.
Right.
At that point. I mean, that was only 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's what it was. 2002, Congress gave them, of course, the Congressional Gold Medal. 2022. A ceremony held in 2024 with surviving members and their families, which, like we said, was only like it's probably like 7 people there.
It can't be many left at this point. I mean, because you can't. I don't even know how many World War II veterans are still left now. Honestly, if there's any. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. They pulled no triggers, tricked a lot of Germans.
That fun part.
They pulled some strings.
Well, Wacky Adventures is like Hogan's Heroes all over again.
It's literally like the army, but like Pee Wee's Playhouse. Like, just
imagine like the Three Stooges and shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's the Three Stooges in the fucking army. That's all it was.
Duck, dodge, and dive, or whatever the hell their spy names were. It was duck, dodge, and something.
Hey, could you imagine being like the general at that time and being like, "This is not going to work. I'm going to be responsible for 1,100 dead soldiers."
Man, I don't know. I don't know, because I feel like the big difference between this not even this generation, but this era and then, is the level of cynicism now versus back then, at least the way the time is portrayed, where like, oh, okay, well, you said that thing, so that's my job now. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to go do that thing, and if it fails, it fails. But, you made it my job, versus over here, like, all right, fine, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy. What the hell is he talking about? Funflatable tank? What the fuck does he think he's...
That would have been like the funnest thing ever, like the first time they blew up a Sherman tank.
It's like, why did it... What? Oh, no. Or Shiza. little did we know that that's actually what John's been doing in the military this entire fucking time.
Well, it would have been, honestly, what would have been kind of funny and kind of Hogan's Heroes-ish is... That was the unit that actually got a German spy in it, and it's just been poking holes in them the whole time. We've been slowly patching them over the years.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Or no, it'd be the fatherland, excuse me. Motherland was the other people we don't talk about.
Yeah, the Ghost Army was a cool one. I liked that one, especially because they didn't kill anybody. They simply just, made some noises.
I didn't realize you were such a pacifist all of a sudden.
Well, I think a lot of the times it's kind of hard to talk about World War II without talking about death.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. You kind of wrapped it up in the first 2 words. World War.
I was trying to find, because it's been forever since I've watched Hogan Heroes, and I was trying to remember what the German soldier always said in Hogan's Heroes.
I know nothing.
I know nothing.
I know nothing.
I just imagine that the entire time. These guys are out there doing this. Oh, man, that's good stuff. I just couldn't remember that. I don't know why. I just completely left my brain today.
That's hilarious.
Hell yeah. Anyways, do you have any more to add to that? Or
No, that's pretty much it. This was a short and sweet one. Because, like I said, they weren't really, involved in anything crazy directly.
I mean, I'm about to say they were definitely part of some things that were pretty.
Yeah, I mean, their whole thing was crazy, but
honestly,
it's misdirection, Decepticon.
Musashi.
Could you imagine that though? Like you're a German and you're like, there goes those fucking Americans right there, and then you just see the tank rise up and the legs, and guys just like fucking the Looney Tunes noise, the legs move.
The Wile E. Coyote, moving a tank.
Exactly. That's good stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was a good one. So I'm gonna wrap it up then. Mm-hmm. Anyways, if you guys made it this far in the episode, we appreciate it. We appreciate the support as always. Please give us a like and share. Make sure you rate us on whatever you're listening to us on too. That does help a lot. We're at a 4.9 back on Spotify now, so that's pretty tight.
Solid.
But yeah, more people that vote for us, the better off we're going to be in the algorithm. We do appreciate it. Again, give us a like, give us a follow. Check out the website, requiredtastepodcast.com. We have pretty much everything you would need there. Give us an email, give us a message, leave us a comment. We would love to hear from you all. Other than that, I thank you, and y'all be cool.
Thanks, guys.